Jim Barnett for Warriors TV. We're visiting today with newly acquired free agent Jermaine O'Neal and freshly signed Jermaine O'Neal. Congratulations on the contract and welcome to the organization.
I think it's good to be here. Very excited about it.
You are starting your 18th year in the NBA. You didn't go to college. You signed right out of high school as a 17th pick back in 1996 with the Portland Blazers. They had a huge front line. You're there for 4 years. And you've had an illustrious career, 6-time All-Star, playing in Indiana. You won't be 35 until October. Right. I see that you have a lot of game left based upon what you did last year in Phoenix. 2 years ago in Boston, you had all those injuries, the lowest numbers since your playing days in Portland at that time. And all of a sudden, you came back very strongly this last year, and you're telling me that you might be better than ever over the last few years. How did that happen? How did you get rejuvenated?
Well, a couple of things. I think first you have to get mentally healthy. And the 2 years in Boston was very, very challenging. Probably 2 of the toughest years of my career. Physically, I just could not get the knee right. Then once I finally got to a stable position with the knee, I fell and hurt my wrist and had to have surgery on my wrist. So that was extremely challenging because I was in a situation where we were trying to do something that I've never been able to do, and that's win a championship. And we felt like we had the team, but we had quite a few injuries. But I was, I had a phone call 2 years ago from a longtime friend named Kobe Bryant, who told me about a procedure out in Germany that I wasn't quite sure about because it wasn't FDA approved. So I did some research and figured out how the FDA operates and understood the situation a little bit more and decided to go last summer to get the treatment done, the orthocon treatment done. And it really gave me new life because I was finally able to go back and do some of the bare basic stuff that gave me opportunity to create a name for myself in Indiana, which I wasn't able to do because the knee would just react all the time. From box jumps to squats to whatever it is, the stuff that basketball players truly need. So when I went, and it was really kind of the last stance. It was like, either if this doesn't work, then I'm gonna call it a career and just go, handle my business and raise my family. And, I got into it and it was just phenomenal. I had no pain, no swelling. I didn't even wear a brace last year. And it really put I call it a rebirth into my system. And I always tell people this now. It's like, I feel like maybe I can't go for 20 every night, but I can go for 20 on any given night. And I truly feel that way. And I felt that way ending the season last year. I took 2 weeks off, kind of let the body recover a little bit, got into some CrossFit, traveled back over to Germany, got the procedure done again. And this is probably the best summer I've had in the last 7 years because I didn't have to rehab anything.
Dr. Peter Whaling in Germany, and you found out about him through Kobe Bryant.
Right.
Is it a radical kind of procedure and stuff? Does it involve injections? Does it involve taking oral drugs to rehab? How do you rehab?
It involves injections that they take the blood out and treat the blood and inject it into the infected areas in your knee, and then it puts you on an anti-inflammatory for an extended period of time to let it work. But that's just the treatment. The hard work is what you have to do on your own. Getting in the gym and really busting your tail, controlling your diet, and that's one thing that I realized too, is that I got to stay strong and lean and not let the weight go up because it puts more pressure on my knee.
Based upon your stats last year in Phoenix, I would think that you had several options and teams to choose from. My question is, why the Golden State Warriors? And did you tell your agent to contact them, or did they contact your agent?
Well, we had a conversation at the break, right when the trade deadline was coming up, and I had an opportunity to. I was fortunate enough from the Phoenix Suns organization to either stay or leave. They gave me the opportunity to do that, and I was definitely appreciative that they came to me about that. And Golden State was one of the teams that came up, and it was all playoff teams that were trying to make a run. But I always believe in finishing the job. And I grew a relationship with a lot of those guys. They were like my little brother, so I wanted to finish the season, and I told them let's revisit the conversation this summer.
It's got to be very bright for you when you were thinking about Golden State, and all of a sudden they acquire Andre Iguodala, a coveted free agent. You had to be impressed with the playoff run by the Warriors last year and their group, their core young players, led by Steph Curry. And then the whole management. Tell me about your dealings. You knew what to expect possibly with the personnel. Tell me about your dealings now with management and this new organization that took over this team a little over 2 years ago.
Well, you know, from my perspective of deciding on where I wanted to play, it was a very difficult situation because, you know, I'm retiring, and whenever that may be, it's going to be in Dallas. You know, I've been building a home there for 2 years, and my wife and kids already moved and are embedded into that community already. And you know, we had opportunity to play there. Rick Carlisle, who coached me for many years in Indiana. I know Mark Cuban very well, but also I know Bob Myers very well. Also, he was actually my agent as well for many, many years, coming through.
That's the connection.
That's the connection. But more than anything, you look at a package and which package feels the best. And you know, Dallas has a tremendous setup, great ownership, great management, all of that. I love the energy from the ownership when I spoke to him on the phone. I love the energy from Bob Myers when I spoke to him on the phone. I love the energy from Mark Jackson when I spoke to him on the phone. This went on for like a 6-7 days, you know, straight span, and it was just, you know, it's like, you know, these guys are very passionate about what they do. I felt like they had the nucleus of young studs to get to the next level, you know, with a couple additions which they went out and did this summer as well. So, you know, you put all that together and you put a crazy arena, you know, with some of the most passionate fans in the business, and then you get an opportunity to play for a great organization, great fan base, and have a special opportunity.
Rookie last year, Festus Ezeli, had some knee surgery, so he's going to be out at least till mid-season. The health history of Andrew Bogut. You played a little over 18 minutes a game last year. Are you prepared to play possibly 24, 25 minutes a game if needed this year, based upon how you feel with your own situation?
Yeah, I think I'm physically ready to do whatever the team needs me to do. And you know, you go in and you exhaust your body in the summertime. And I always say, if I can't get through the summer training, then there's no way I can get through whatever coach or the organization asks me to do during the season. And you know, sometimes, even my daughter comes to me sometime and asks me, you know, why are you still working so hard? 18 years, going into 18 years, and I truthfully feel like I'm the hardest working 18-year veteran in sports, because I really do it all. I really invest into my body, and especially now where my knee isn't bothering me. You know, I feel like I want to end this thing on my own terms, and this is a perfect opportunity to do so.